Welcome back to the Glaze Studios oil painting tutorial. I'm Gomati Sivasankaran. We are in class 7 of the Dhanya Lakshmi painting, continuing layer 4. Dhanya Lakshmi, Dhanya refers to the crop wealth. Yeah, so this particular Lakshmi is one of the 8 forms of Lakshmi avatars that is representing all the positive propensities of life, and this particular Lakshmi is relating to crop wealth. We are working on the layer 4, and the last class we did look at the skin tonalities, trying to build it even finer, the hair and such, and we did work on the face and her skin tone on her hands as well. That was an intense session because we were building a lot into layer 4, building a lot into the depth, lot of nuances, yes, and it isn't a completely unknown zone also, because you are kind of familiar now. So what kind of trick are we following here? Because we broke down our activity into sections and sections, the focus was on building the structure and then refining the structure with the help of colors, and then telling the storyline with dark and light and such, and moving on. So the pressure is down. It's not that much, we are able to focus section by section and try to build it section by section. So we are now working on the layer 4. We are going to continue with it in the sections that are covering her clothing and and also her equipments, whatever she has got in her hands. She's got a lot. So we're going to work on that now. I think we will leave the jewelry to the last. Let's see how far we achieve with the rest of the case. Yeah, rest of the requirements. Yes. So getting on with the first step, what we need is the um, yeah, it's the clothing, and we want some coloring and lightening and darkening. We need some shine out there. Uh, this particular picture that we used of Dhanya Lakshmi, the lady Lakshmi, it's got a green color, but then we took the total yellow path. At least I did here. I don't know what colors you have chosen, but I'm going to use that yellow color tonality and build on it even further and take a little more of this, um, orange, maybe vermilion a little bit to highlight in some sections, yellow ochre a little bit to highlight in some sections. I'm going to see how things go. I'm just planning on those ranges of work. Yeah, let's see how that goes with this. And right now, I'm not going to rely too much on our titanium white because we have built the base here already. I think it should work. Only thing is that when I built the titanium white previously, it left some scars, and I'm going to just scratch that off. These are when the paint isn't fully mellowed down and have some, I don't know if you noticed that sometimes it leaves out some scars sort of thing and some excess paint on the face of the canvas. If you have such things, remove it with a painting knife or such, or in my case it's not that much, but I'm just removing it off lightly before I get started with today's work. Yes, I've got paint in my nails, which is definitely not good. Remember to wash your hands properly after using such colors. Let's go back to permanent yellow. And I said no blending of titanium white this time. Let's see how that goes. I have taken a bit of it, and I'm going to use a brush, a small brush, or possibly a brush that is okay. I think I have brush number 2 or something, and this is it's not such a big brush, so it's good. And I'm just going to take that, take a little bit of primary yellow, and first of all start painting away on top of this to see how the color gels in and highlights stuff. Good. I think it brightens without the help of anything else. So I think it is doing the job. Let's use this to go around all the sections once with the translucent color. That is the benefit. So I'm just going to go around filling all the sections in first. And then let's see. See, even in the places where I have given shades, it's helping. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it like this. It's helping me brighten up that storyline nicely. Yes. So I am going for it. Just adding the primary yellow to all the sections. Nice and bright. Super. Needed to do a little bit of adjustment here to this blouse here. Done. So I think I can move on to the skirt section as well. But yes. But this is easier because we did a good shading in the previous dark and light layering, isn't it? So that is the benefit of a good shading. All we have to do is follow contours, and it looks like things come even without the the upcoming step. It should already look fair enough. It looks cool. The color looks brighter. Now I see a mistake here. It isn't a mistake as such, but I feel that the the tie in this section is a little too big here. Maybe when I work on the flower, I'll try to adjust things here in a way that it doesn't look so big. Somehow, bringing the petals little atop. Yeah, somehow I'll work on that. We need a little more of shading, so I'm just going to rely on crimson and see how that goes on the sides. Yes, it does, ever so lightly. Can you see exactly on the places where I had darkened? I'm just using that tip of my brush. I'm using the same brush, so I'm just going with it and using the tip of my brush to play with it. The shading also, and the coming from the shoulder line, remember that. We'll blend it in quickly, so not too much of that color. Okay, so using it here. I want the skirt to have some frills kind of, so I'm just doing some lines coming out like this. And I'll soon show you how I'm going to blend this in. So this line is fine. Like I said, this is where I want it to come down. And I want the rest of the space to be sort of hidden in the floral shape, the flowers, petals. So I guess I've got the darker tonality done, and I'm going to blend it in nicely, not taking too much of color. And maybe I will take a little more of yellow if I need, primary yellow if I need to blend in. Yeah, because if it is getting too much here in my brush. Looks fair enough here. Blending it in. Yes. Bit more of primary yellow to blend things in. So this is helping a lot here. Huh? And also the frills of the skirt that I want to show. Leaving it slightly darkened underneath that belt. We will work on the jewelry in the next session possibly. Let's see. That is fine now. Let's now start working on the that's a lot of elements in her hands. Let's start working on the yellow related areas, that is the crop and the banana. But are they yellow now? They aren't yellow. They have a golden brown kind of outlook. So it's like say wheat or paddy grain there and such. So let's do a little bit more on that. So I'm just going to take another brush, possibly a zero brush, micro brush or something that is really minute, because we are going to work on a minute section here. So we have this primary yellow ready. To this, it would be great if we add a little bit of yellow ochre to see how that goes. Remember the one that we did for the gold really works for the crop also sometimes. Yeah, let's try that. Taking in yellow ochre, blending it with this primary yellow is giving me a color that is fair enough, and it is believable sort of in for the crop. So I'm just going to go to the crop section here and give that centerpiece, this the center lining, this particular color tone, and then a tiny bit of titanium white to this color that we mixed to lighten it up a bit. So it's still dull, to give some strokes that is coming from Yeah, the crop, it doesn't, look like a, a perfect piece. It's got some hair sort of a thing coming out. Yeah, let's do that. Those streaks, tiny streaks to give, they are fine. And I'm going to add white highlights also to that. So I'm just taking a bit of titanium white to give a slight highlight there. There you go. Mm. So it looks slightly, catching the light. Huh? So I think this is fine now here. Um, I want to do the same thing to the banana. It's good that we have this yellow mixed with yellow ochre and a bit of titanium white. That's a very light tonality that I want to use to get more of yellow ochre, yeah, to go over some of the sections of the banana that is closer to the central, branch. So just do that. So each banana, I am just filling half of it with that. Yeah. And I'll take some titanium white and purely mix it with a bit of primary yellow. Lighten it up. This is a light primary yellow, and I'm going to use that for the rest of the portions of the fruit. So it's a double color now. So the lighter tonalities of the banana are taken care of. Now we need the darker ones to work with, isn't it? So what is the darker one? Yeah, we did last time take the help of olive green. That is a reliable color. To that, I'm going to go bold a bit and add ivory black. That's going to be really, a blacky green. You cannot say whether it is really dark or really, on the green side. So it should be really yeah. So, yeah. So we are continuing with this darker shade here, and I'm still using this olive green with ivory black to give that effect, using a slight bit of an ivory black only to just give taint, darkness in some areas. Can you see where it is? It's just the place where the next layer of, bunch or a bunch of banana starts. So that bunch, I want to create that darkness there, giving it that feel. Yeah. Be very careful with the black. It is very helpful, but it could go the wrong way. Just be careful with it. What else? There's this tip of this banana, yeah, and that's the very light. What do you call it? It's not a light green. It's the olive green. So I'm just going to use it to place a spot. I think it is there. In most of the cases, you can see it, but could just enhance it nicely in that. So small little details, but they do matter. Yeah. Okay, so I have done that, and I'm just going to use a bit more of this black right here. Okay, I guess this is kind of fine. What else? I think we should move the focus to the other. That is this sugarcane stalk that she's got in her hand. Luckily, it's the olive green that we could play around with again. So whatever we have painted in the previous layers sounds good for me, and I will just grow with that. Yeah. Yes. Need a bit of oil, not too much. Then I'm just going to go ahead and build on that. Section, and I think I will add few more because I did only a few things to just give the feel of what it is, but I did not add too many of those leaves, so I'm going to do that. We need to thicken the branch, in her hand. Yes. I'm going to add few more. When you work with the zero brush and have only tiny bit of paint all the time, it's really helpful to have a palette like this handy, not so heavy. That's one reason why I choose to work in this kind of palettes. I do like glass palettes, like I said in the basics, that it's one of the nicest palettes that you can have because the transparency really helps you understand the colors that are coming up, and while you're building it in the palette itself. Yeah, but it's heavy, so I tend not to use it. Yeah, I guess now I can add few more darker then I could add a bit of lighter green if I need somewhere. So what I'm doing is to add that primary yellow to lighten it up in some sections. If that primary yellow goes with that green and lightens it wherever I want, yeah. Just creating that. Just wanted the, wow, that is so many of them. I just wanted it to have, that's usually the way it is. And I think we can also see that from the reference. Okay. So we have nice shaded, strong looking sugarcane. And this sugarcane, the base has to have a bit of, I don't want to give too much of it, but I'm taking a tiny bit of titanium white to give a slight highlight here. And then I'll use the ivory black to give a kind of, I don't know what you call it in English. If you have seen sugarcane sticks, there is this partitions kind of, appearing. I don't know what to call them, but they are strongly appearing there. So I'm just giving it that. Okay, look. All right, I guess we are done with the fruit and the corn and sugarcane stick and such. Okay, now there are flowers to work on. I'm not going to do this now because I think it's going to be a good idea to stick with doing something about this when we do the jewelry. So I'm going to focus on the flowers. Okay, the flowers. It will be a good idea to work on the flowers with the crimson, isn't it? Let's take crimson, and this time I want to take a tiny bit of crimson that's already there in my palette, and I'm going to see how things are going because I want to do some adjustments. Like I mentioned, I just wanted to first of all bring this up, adjust the size of it here. That's one thing I had in mind, bringing everything slightly up. That was in the agenda. And then I will look at how the flower is designed here. You can see that the light is in the inner side of the petals and the light is on the top of the petals in the picture. And I think I will go with that logic to have the lower section darkened and such, and the upper section lightened. So that's the core idea that I would follow, except for the adjustments that I've made here that I need to remember. I just want that sections to be done nicely. So flat there on it. Now I'm going to take crimson, a bit more of the crimson. Good. Okay, so another thing that I wanted to adjust was this the shape of the flower here in the bottom, and I want to bring this up for you to see a little bit more. Yeah, the shape of the flower seems kind of misaligned. I want to fix that also. So I'm going to do this. This is the base. Do this. Yeah, this is the base, and there you go with the next petal. Okay, those two are the next petals that will be in the same um, linear thing, and then we move on to building the petals that are falling into the sides, going up like a cup. So that's the thing, and we'll do the same thing here, going up. That is adjusted, and now I wanted this direction. I wanted to adjust. I think I didn't do it right last time. So corrections first, then we can focus on the work. So this shape is right, no problems with it. This shape is okay. And then this one gets slightly on the darker side here. Yeah. So this helps to kind of plan. And now I'm going to take a bit of oil to get it, done like this. Take this, push this off, color off, and darken this, the base. Darken the base with a little bit of the color and also oil. Balance it with the oil, and I like some strokes like this going up, and I'll blend it in with lighter, titanium white and such. I'll do that. This is my style. I think it's up to you how you want to draw your lotus, where you want to see a perfect finish of blend of colors without any such strokes. That's also a good idea. I like some strokes to be visible, so I'm just giving it like this. Yeah. Then I'm going to take this color up this. How is it looking for you? Yeah. And you could use a smaller brush if you want. I'm just thickening it up because I was, thinking of making it look slightly, on the darker side here. Okay, I think I need help with with another brush to clean up a little bit here. Yes, done, done. Okay, fantastic. Let's come on. Okay, managed fine here. So let's leave it there. Not do too much of that there. Yeah, this is fine. And there is this tiny corner, so you need to be aware of this small little spaces. So I am I think I need another brush to work with this. Searching for one that is apt to do the job. Yeah, this one was the one that had the yellow. I'm just going to rely on that to fix the edges if I had messed it up. Once that is clear, then I will go back to taking this color in between those nice little spaces where the petals are still visible. Tips of the petals are visible rather. So done. I think I could do now with a little bit of titanium white, not too much. So I'm going to take some of it. And the tip of the same brush, I've been using brush number 3 round. Sorry if I haven't explained that. And I'm just going to fill it in ever so lightly here, because I still want it to be on the darker side here. Then I will go ahead, use the same technique on the other side as well. Still need a bit more of that crimson going here. See that this color on the sides are slightly darker. Now when it comes to the center, we can make it slightly lighter, bringing down that lightness, you know, and such. Cool. Right. Now a little more of white. I want to work on the center. This one, as you see, when I blend, I leave some strokes wantedly like this. Wow, this is looking good. Now I want a slight bit of white here as well. This one can be slightly darker. Giving a contrast here. Yes. Looks fair enough here. Again, I'll do the same idea. The center slightly more lighter. Gradually losing lightness at the. So this is exactly what we are doing with the depth. You know, we're creating the depth. So we're doing that here, exactly that here. So I'll take a tiny bit of black to play with this as well. I think I can use the brush that I had for black to go and give that tiny tinge of black here. Not too much, slightly darkening the space and giving that slight effect of shadow falling on the other. So now I will blend that in. So I'll be very careful with that. Slightly blending it in, because you don't want it to look totally black also. You want to make use of that. But not too much here. When it just blends in, it looks really cool. in those spots. Yes. I guess the lotus flower looks cool now. So we need to do two more small little lotuses in her hands. Okay, good. So it's the same technique. Let's take a bit of crimson and do those small little parts, small little. Yeah. And now I will take a smaller brush, possibly brush number 1 with titanium white to go over the lighter shades, tips and such to give it the angle that it deserves. Okay. Adding a bit more of the white there. Gonna do the same thing here. Now I need all right, I guess I am done with the basic requirements of as regards the layer 4 of all other elements in the painting, leaving out jewelry. So we will make a stop at this to review what we have done. We'll stop now and let's just summarize what we have done. So what we did today in this class is to work on the rest of the elements and the layer 4 of rest of the elements in this picture. So we have kind of worked on her clothing and we have also worked on whatever she's holding in her hand and also the lotus that she's seated on. So all these elements are done. We are nearly there with the completion of layer 4 except for the jewelry. The focus on the jewelry will be taken up in the next session. With that session we'll end the layer 4. Yeah. So with that, I look forward to meeting you in the next session where we work on the jewelry. Until we meet, stay blessed, stay happy, stay healthy, and stay motivated. See you. Bye bye.